In the depths of our planet lies a world of wonder and mystery, where life thrives in a delicate balance. Welcome to The Deep, delve into the aquatic life and welfare, a documentary exploring the current state of the ecosystems and vital importance of our oceans according to the United Nations 14th Sustainable Development Goal, Life Below Water, which aims to conserve and sustainably use the oceans, seas, and marine resources for the sustainable development. For centuries, the Filipino people have relied on the sea for sustenance and livelihoods. But today, these waters face unprecedented challenges. From pollution choking our waters, to overfishing depleting marine populations, and climate change wreaking havoc on coral reefs. The threats are real and urgent. But amidst these challenges, there is hope. Around the globe, scientists, conservationists, and communities are coming together to protect and restore our oceans, guided by the Sustainable Development Goal 14, Life Below Water. As we delve into the depths of the Philippine seas, we witness a story of people who are experiencing the impact of growing problem beneath the Philippine waters and see the efforts of the governments, local government, and normal citizens to integrate the 14th Sustainable Development Goal into the Philippine Development Plan.
Ano po ang pangalan niyo?
Pangalan ko si Rosito Almodaba.
Ano po ang mga naging trabaho niyo sa mga nakaraang ano po?
Totoo na mandaragat ako. Minsan pag mahinang pangulis dagat, may pinakakakitaan din naman ko sa Makati.
Okay.
Kaya nung pagtatricycle.
Okay po.
Sa ngayon hindi mo masasabing nagbabago eh. Ang pinagbabago kasi, mas dumarami ang basura. Kagaya ng plastic. Hindi na namin makontrol yun. Kahit yung mga nanggagamit sa ilong, mga nagtatapon. Dito ang baksak sa amin. Kaya hindi namin nasasabi na nakokontrol ang basura. Mga nanggagamit ilong.
Oh.
Sa yung ang pagkakaiba noon, ang tubig naman hindi pulbutin. Ngayon pulbutin. Dati dala sa gilid, nakakahuli na kami ng mga maraming isda. Ngayon, pag umagos ang ilog at bumuga ng maitim, may tataboy ako. Hindi.
Okay.
Sa
So,
ngayon
balik.
lang.
Ngayon.
Sa totoo lang, nung araw ng 1989, sa totoo lang, sa dagat pa mismo kami uminom, sa lawa. Hindi kami nagdadala ng tubig. Ngayon, hindi ka po pwedeng uminom kahit sa laot. Eltro ang aabutin mo. Sukay tayo.
Sa tingin niyo po, ano po yung naging epekto nun sa mga isda, pati po sa mga mangingisda?
Marami kasi yung mga pangkaraniwang isdang madalas namin nahuli, ngayon madami. Ibang klase ng tubig natin, polluted na. So kaya nababawasan. Siguro hindi na pwedeng hadlangan kasi kailangan natin ng pabrika eh. Pabrika ang mga nagtatapon ng maraming dyan.
Tama.
Diba?
Tama.
Good evening po, sir. Can you tell us your name po?
My full name is Nez Thomas Carl Quinto, but I usually just go by Tom Quinto.
Are you familiar po sa SDG or Sustainable Development Goals?
Yes, it's actually one of the few things na pinag-aaralan, especially sa conservation classes. So yung Sustainable Development Goals actually for the most part, ang target niyan ay, well, in marine biology, in terms of marine biology, ang target niyan are actually the fishermen. We need to educate our fishermen how to fish sustainably. Kasi nga, ang main goal natin is to make it sustainable so that the future generations will still have fish to harvest, will still have marine life that will take care of their needs. Kasi for the most part ngayon, when people don't know kung paano yung sustainable fishing or sustainable harvesting, they tend to harvest more than the ocean can sustain. So, ang tendency, trophic levels collapse. Sorry, I'm talking a lot of scientific jargon here. Ano bang magandang term? Yung ecology nagko-collapse kasi a few species lang yung nahuhuli, yung iba hindi. Disrupt yung ecology since merong certain key species na importante sa system na nawawala, and that actually causes damage din to the rest of the ecosystem. And that's usually yung problem with traditional fishing.
Have there been any observable positive impact on Philippine marine ecosystem as a result of efforts aligned with SDG 40?
I can name one. sa Malapascua, somewhere in Visayas. There's a small island called Malapascua. This is actually one of my favorite non-government organizations na pinapollow ko sa social media nila. It's a small organization that helps yung locals ng Malapascua Island na i-maintain yung ecosystem dun sa part ng ocean or sa part ng sea na yun. One of the things they do is to remove invasive species. I don't know if you've heard of crowny thorn sea stars. They're super invasive species, and they disrupt yung coral reef, yung local reef doon. So what they do is they try to harvest yung mga invasive species na yun, as many as they could in a day, with the help of the locals actually. And that provides an extra job. And then eventually, nagsastart na mabuhay ulit yung coral reefs. A healthy coral reef means a healthy fish population, healthy fish diversity. And then eventually, yun na nga yung nangyari. Mas dumami yung variety of species ng fish, mas dumami yung population. Unti-unti, bumabalik yung sustainable livelihood and yung sapat na livelihood para sa mga tao ng island na yun. And it's still on its way to developing and getting better.
Are there any gaps in policy or areas where enforcement could be strengthened to be better support SDG 14 goals?
This is very controversial, pero the only thing I can think of right now is yung issue sa West Philippine Sea. Definitely a gap in enforcement, pero hindi lang naman problema ng Pilipinas. It's a United Nations thing. We own those waters. We should be able to harvest those resources, marine resources na nandun. And we should not allow anyone to destroy those resources.
How can individuals contribute to marine conservation efforts?
There's lots of ways. As simple as sharing kung ano yung mga events na nangyari sa marine resources natin. That's good enough through social media. So they spread the word kung ano yung findings ng research nila. They come up with small posters, they come up with infographics, and then they spread that through social media for people to share. Maraming volunteer divers tayo. You don't actually have to be a marine biologist to participate in research.
How do human activities such as fishing and pollution impact marine ecosystem?
Fishing, very obvious. Kung hindi sustainable fishing, like I said earlier, it can cause severe damage to an ecosystem, lalo kung maraming keystone species. A keystone species is a certain species sa environment niya na kung saan nagre-rely every other species. There are some fish na if they are over-harvested, malaki yung magiging impact sa predators nila and sa prey nila. And that can cause a terrible imbalance dun sa ecosystem. And that can cause a lot of trouble. Ultimately, the death of a coral reef and the loss of livelihood ng mga locals na nandun na nagre-rely doon. Yeah, so obviously pollution can cause the death of a coral reef. If not, it usually starts with deoxygenation ng water. Although hindi naman laging direct yung pollution. Some locals are very clean with their environment, pero stuff like global warming and excess carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, yung effect nun is global, and karamihan ng tatamaan doon yung mga nakatira sa coastal area. So it's not their fault na nangyari yung pollution na yun, pero sila yung naapektuhan. And it kills coral reefs and ultimately yung destruction ng buong ecosystem.
How do you balance conservation goals with the economic needs of fishing communities?
Um, Definitely through policy. There's actually one field actually in marine biology is creating policies. Definitely governments should be involved, especially in DNR natin, Marine Fisheries Institution, or I don't know, di ko alam yung government department involved in that bukod sa DNR.
How can governments better enforce regulation to protect marine biodiversity?
There's lots of different ways, pero they have to put more people into educating. There's much less need for enforcing kung meron tayong educated locals. Kung alam nila yung dapat nilang gawin at hindi nila dapat gawin, there's no need to whip their backs into following following the laws. Pero yun nga, we need to put more people na magre-regulate ng mga laws na yun to watch out for those who violate. And I kind of don't want to bring this up, but this is very important. Yun nga, what's happening in the West Philippine Sea. There's really not much we can do. It's a very, very risky and dangerous situation. But we have diplomacy. We have the power of diplomacy to help us. That's really all we can rely on right now. But hopefully, merong mangyari. Merong gawin ang United Nations, since there's something from us that's being taken that we actually need. We're an archipelago. We have lots of marine resources. That's more than enough to sustain, I would say, the whole country. Tayo dapat yung nag-i-import ng marine resources natin, pero madalas tayo pa yung nag-i-import. But yeah, definitely there's a lot of need for enforcement in different degrees.
The Philippines is an archipelago surrounded by beautiful and diverse marine life in all directions. With coral reefs and many species of fish, Filipinos have always had a close relationship with life below water. This makes the SDG 14 much more important for Filipinos, as it is our duty to protect our natural treasures, our seas. As said by our interviewee, Nez Tomas Carl Quinto, who studied marine biology, anyone can do their part, and any amount of effort, no matter how small, is valuable. There are international collaborations that help in marine conservation, and in the Philippines, there are multiple non-government organizations, just like what Sir Tom Quinto shared about at Malapascua Island, that make it their mission to help marine life and to educate the local population. But as individuals, we can still help with our actions. As students, we can help by spreading awareness, such as with what we are doing with this documentary, and by spreading word on social media so that more people will know about the importance of life below water. And as adults, we can vote for politicians who care about conservation of the environment, as the government still plays a crucial role in enforcing policies that will safeguard our country and its resources, marine life included.